Okay, in this part we are going to talk about the soft question answering skills here, okay? Okay, so before we have to learn how to elaborate or make the explanation, we have to understand how to read the questions, okay? Here, I just copied this from the book, from the textbook, so we just try to make use of this. Before we really read the questions, we have to, I have to remind you some basic skills of demand supply questions, okay? So every time when we try to read the question, we have to find out the background, the change and the consequence, okay? And the most difficult part, I think it should be the changes, okay? But every time in when we talking about the background, actually we have to identify the market, okay? And identify whether it is in the equilibrium, okay? So let's read the question. In the question, it said that how would the price and the quantity change about the imported eggs can be affected by the cases, okay? So actually this time, it gave us about the market. The market first is about the imported egg. Okay, I think that most of you can identify that. And equilibrium, where the equilibrium, that means where there is a excess supply or excess demand. Okay, so just know in this case, so we have to finish the first part, and the first and second part is about the changes. Okay, so changes in the case there will be, remember the market we identified is about the imported eggs. So look at the case here in part A, okay, in part A, and let's think about is anything affect the buyer's decisions, the buyer's decision, and anything affect the seller's decisions. Okay, so let's see. For the first part of the part A, it said that there is a new technology developed about to produce eggs in shorter times. Okay, so and when the word "and" exists, that means there's another things. So we finish for the first thing first. Technology about produce eggs. Okay, so you can think about it's affect the consumer or the supplier. Okay, it's about making eggs, produce eggs, right? Making, so it should be related to supply, and it's about the producer, right? So supply, and whether it is a good thing or a bad thing for the producer, we can make it in a shorter time. Shorter time, that means I can make it faster, I can sell more, so that is a good thing for me. Good thing, so supply increase. And for the second part, the consumer expect the price of eggs decrease. Okay, it directly tells you about the consumer, so it should be related to demand. And it said that the expect the price of X decrease in the future. That means the price will decrease in future, okay, or maybe tomorrow. It will cheaper tomorrow, so I will buy later, right? I can buy it for lower price in the future. So why not? Why have to buy it now? So now I will buy less because cheaper in future. I buy later. I buy less today. Okay, so actually after that I identify the two elements, two things about the changes: the supply increase, demand decrease. Okay, and about the consequence, it asks us about the price and the quantity, but it does not give us any direction. So our mission is try to find out the consequence in this case. Okay, so supply, according to the analysis, supply increase, demand decrease. Okay, supply increase, the P will drop, the quantity will be up. For demand decrease, P will drop, Q will drop. So to conclude, I can sure for the price, both of them, both the supply and demand change will make the price lower. So final result for the price should be lower. For the effect on the quantity, different directions, so it should be unknown. Okay, so that's the answer. Okay, so let's apply the skill to the next case. Okay, so let's think about the change. The government records some imported okay, that have been contaminated and people are afraid to eat eggs. Okay, that's just an end. So before that, I try to figure out what happened about the government record some eggs. Okay, so actually, the government record some eggs, and these eggs buyers or seller will be affected. The government recover the eggs from the sellers, right? If they do not, yeah, they recover from the sellers. So it's affect the supply, and they recover so the supplier have less eggs on hand. Okay, so it's a supply decrease. And the second one, people afraid to eat eggs. So these people are consumers. So because they eat eggs, right? They are not making eggs. So this is the demand, and they're afraid of this, so they will eat less. So supply and demand decrease this time. Okay, looks at this real question. So we refer to the background change and the consequence first. Okay, so try to read the question and try to identify the background first. Okay, so in this question, background, that means the market, right? So look for the market with blah 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 blah, and with all the information, and try to look at the last question with the chat. Okay, so it's talking about the fitness center. Okay, so is these questions talking about this fitness center? So that is the background, and this is the market, and also that is nothing about the equilibrium, so nothing about the excess demand or supply. So we finish about the background check, then we go to the changes in this question. Is from the, okay, we carefully from the first sentence, they said that more people concerned about the health. Okay, there is increasing number of people joining the fitness centers. That means more people concerned about health, okay, for the fitness center. So that's why they go to fitness center, and these people, they are providing service or enjoying the service. Surely it should be enjoyed, so it's about the demand, and they like it, so they have a demand increase. And at the same time, this word means that and other things. Okay, so let's check what is in other things. It said that the market range of the commercial premises dropped. Okay, so let's think about what is who the buyers or the sellers of the fitness centers service, or we care about the range. Okay, so actually only the service provider, that means the producer, will care about this. So it's related to supply, and this range drops, so the supplier should be happy, right? They can make more profits, so they will increase the supply. So we finished the analysis about the change and the consequence. Let's check. It's asked us explain in under what condition the membership fees will decrease. Membership fees is the price of the fitness center service, and decrease, that is the result. Okay, so after all, we have to understand that, okay, that is the demands increase, a supply increase. For the price and the quantity, we don't know, but actually they tell us that the price will decrease at last. Okay, so let's do the analysis. Demand increase, price increase, quantity increase, right? Then supply increase, price decrease, quantity increase. So quantity will increase at last, and the price should be unknown, but at this moment it tells us that it's decreased. So the winner is supply, right? Supply is that means a double decrease, so it's the winner is supply. Okay, so after this analysis, we can try to draw the diagram with a greater change of the supply. So S1 D1. Okay, so supply increase, shift to the right. S2 with a greater distance. Okay, so demand increase, shift to the right. D2, and both of them shift to the right. Okay, so new equilibrium here. Okay, this P2, this is Q2. Okay, and original equilibrium is here, P1 Q1. So price decrease, quantity increase. Okay, so finish about the diagram. I recommend you to do to draw the diagram first, and then we try to write down the things, to write the elaborations. Okay, so actually we got a 3 months already, so we try to write their elaboration here. Elaboration, we have to try to connect the cases and the effects. Okay, so we just people people concerned about health. People concerned about health increase the demand of fitness center. Okay, so and the second case is the range of commercial premises, right? The range drop will increase the supply of fitness center. Okay, so that's too much already, and if we can, because then we have to talk about the extent of changes. So when the extent of increase in demand, okay, according to analysis, increase in demand should be smaller, right? So smaller than the extent of increase in supply. The equilibrium price will decrease. And the equilibrium quantity increase. Okay, so now put all the D1 to D2, S1 to S2, then P1 to P2, Q1 to Q2. Okay, so actually that is how we answer and get the full marks here. Okay, so check the points, how you get the marks. For the shift of the curve on the diagram, you get the marks, and you can show that there's a decrease in price, because you have to show this, because when you can show the decrease in price, that means you show the right extent of the change of demand and supply. And we got change of demand 1 mark, change of supply 1 mark, the extent 1 mark. Okay, because the result is total in the correction, so it does not consider any marks.